here.
Amazing. Good morning. A warm and rowdy welcome to Holston Valley Unitarian Universalist Church. I am the Reverend Tiffany Anderson, the minister of this church, and my pronouns are she and her. A warm welcome to Grant and Abraham of the Itty Bitty Oompa Band. They are sharing their gift of polka music with us today, and there's really nothing more fitting for a service that's a little bit about silliness and foolishness today. Thank you so much for bringing your amazing energy with you today. I think you've gotten us started on the right foot today. Our call to worship is an invocation written by Unitarian Universalist minister Susan Manker-Seal, titled Out of Our Yearning. We speak to the God, the goddess, the spirit of life, the eternal. We speak to the mysterious thread that connects us, one to the other and to the universe. We speak to the deep wisdom at the center of our beings. We embody the yearning of all people to touch each other more deeply, to hear each other more keenly, to see each other's joys and sorrows as our own, and know that we are not alone, unless we create solitude for ourselves. And even then, community awaits us. Out of our yearning, we have come to this religious community. May we help each other to proclaim the possibilities that we see, to create the community that we desire, to worship that which is worthy in our lives, to teach the truth as we know it, and to serve justice in all the ways we can, to the end that our yearning is assuaged and our lives fulfilled in one another. Let us go now into the silence of the faith that is unique to each of us and still the same. Let us be silent together for a moment.
Good morning. Good morning. My name is Erin, and I am your service leader today. If you are visiting us for the first time today, you are especially welcome. The visitors table by the door can help you get oriented if you have any questions. If you have little ones, our greeters can show you the way to the nursery, which is available during the service for children ages 6 and younger. Kids are also very welcome here in the sanctuary. Today, we light our chalice, which has been a symbol of hope and resistance ever since World War II. The Unitarian service community used it as their official seal on paperwork they used to bring refugees fleeing oppression and death into the relative safety of the United States. Today, we invite to come help us with the chalice lighting. Grade student at Boones Creek Elementary. She really enjoys competitive swimming, and she also enjoys theater. Takes after her mom a little. Chalice, please join me in saying our vision statement, which is printed in our bulletin. We work together as a church to transform ourselves, our community, and our world by sharing love, pursuing justice, and seeking wonder. Good job.
Today's story for for all ages is a Mad Lib, meaning you all are going to help me tell the story and hopefully help me make it a little silly. So we're going to start by you giving me suggestions. I'll ask for a certain thing like a word or a name, and then after I've gotten all your suggestions, I'm going to tell the story we wrote together. So first, I need a magical being. A Sasquatch. What's the, I only need one. We got a lot of things to get through here. All right, what's the Sasquatch's name?
John.
John. I need an adjective.
Wild.
Wild. And a noun. Beer. And another adjective.
Funny.
Funny. And an animal.
Dog. Raccoon. Skunk. Opossum.
I kind of like raccoon. All right. And also, I'm going to apologize. I'm generally writing what I hear first and who's loudest. If you're quiet and not Johnny on the spot, I'm sorry. This is just the way this works. An unusual talent.
Hiccuping a song.
What was that?
Hiccuping a song.
Hiccuping a song. That is an unusual talent. I had not thought of that. All right, this side of the room, another unusual talent.
Saw fiddle.
Saw fiddle. I'm learning new stuff already. All right, a social issue important to Unitarian Universalists.
Voting rights.
Voting rights.
What's that real name?
I need another magical being.
Mothman.
All right, and a value or a principle. Reciprocity. And I think I heard equality over here. I need two for that. All right, a place. HVUUC. And Mothman.
It's gonna be epic.
All right. Something you use know a lot about.
Coffee.
Love. And coffee. Love and Coffee, the name of my new autobiography. All right, let's see. I've already got that one, and that one, and that one. A name of a polka. Gotta have polka today. A food. Pizza. And a game. Monopoly. And a sport. Whoa, you guys got opinions about sports. Okay. And let's see. Got that already. Kind of weather. Rain and a direction. North, south, east. North. And another UU value or principle. Integrity. A term of endearment. All right. Verb. Huh? Verb. V-E-R-B, verb. Snorkel. And another verb. Run. A piece of good advice.
Don't eat yellow snow.
Don't eat yellow snow. Classic. One more verb. Jump. And And an adverb. Do we know what adverbs are? Quickly. And a period of time.
1 second.
1 second. All right, you ready to hear your story? Once upon a time, there was a magical Sasquatch named John. They had a wild bear and a funny raccoon. They had many talents. They could even hiccup a song and could even play a saw fiddle. But they were not satisfied with just being good at something. They wanted to do good things with their talents. They cared a lot about things going on in the world, but they especially cared about voting rights. They also tried to be good Sasquatches by living according to the values of reciprocity and equality. One day, as they were traveling around the world, they came to HVUUC, where they met a whole group of Mothmans. They didn't know a lot about love and coffee, and were hoping that John could teach them. So John decided to stay at HVUUC for a while. And they had a great silly time. They learned to dance the polka, and they ate lots of food, like pizza and chicken, and they played Monopoly and Gay Uno and football. And everyone had a great time. And they all became a community until the Sasquatches and the Mothmans felt like John was part of their community. But then one day the rain started blowing in from the north, and John knew it was time to go find other magical creatures that needed to learn about integrity. They said, "My Pookies, I have snorkeled so much from you all, but now I must go. I won't be gone forever, but it's time for you to run together without me. I will see you again, but until then, please remember, don't eat the yellow snow." And everyone jumped quickly for 1 second. The end. Like the Mothmen that shared our story, we have also been blessed by someone who has come in to teach us new things and has worked wonders with our youth and children and are now moving on to other ministries. This Sunday is our last Sunday with Justin as our Director of Religious Education. We are changing our process for how we are covenanting with departing church staff as a shared covenant between staff, minister, and our lay leaders. So we can't tell you at this time exactly what the new normal will look like for how we are relating to Justin and his family, but we do want to celebrate his time with us and celebrate his transition to his new ministry as a spiritual director, where he will be offering support for spiritual growth and exploration in a one-on-one setting. And I can tell you that our relationship with Justin and his family is not ending, just transforming. Wow, y'all, I just had emotional whiplash. Oh, Justin, thank you. And this is not an ending, just a changing. Every week, this table of joys and sorrows is available for us in all the ups and downs and complexities of life. If you'd like to share a joy or a sorrow in person, please use these candle cards that are located on the back table. And if you'd like to share a joy or concern from a distance, please email minister@hvuuc.org. A candle of concern from Angie Nice. A candle for the friends of Angie's son who have to leave their homes and their belongings this week. They've found a new place to live, but are afraid that they're going to lose their belongings without financial assistance to move them. And a candle of joy to welcome Brooklyn Wilkerson as our interim director of religious education. Brooklyn has been a member of the congregation for many years now and is a key member of the RE Collaborative. It is our policy to not hire members of the congregation for long-term permanent positions, but often as a longtime staff member leaves, someone will step in to fill in as an interim, and we're super grateful for Brooklyn to do this work. We know that she's going to keep things going while we search for our next long-term director of religious education. I'm really excited about working with you. Welcome, Brooklyn. So we invite you to come to this table to light a candle for your joys or sorrows, or raise your hand and I will light a candle for you. During this time, you may also leave money in the basket down here on this corner for the kids' collection for hunger. And our community is so much larger than just those of us who are in the building this morning, so we light a candle to hold space for those who are not physically present with us, but are ever in our hearts. we light a final candle for all that remains unspoken in our hearts and minds.
The Tao Te Ching, chapter 45. True perfection seems imperfect, yet it is perfectly itself. True fullness seems empty, yet it is fully present. True straightness seems crooked, true wisdom seems foolish, true art seems artless. The master allows things to happen. She shapes events as they come. She steps out of the way and lets the Tao speak for itself.
What do we mean when we use the word fool? My first knowledge of this word comes from the classic Disney movies of my childhood. For Disney villains like Cruella de Vil, Ursula, and Scar, "You fool" was the sickest G-rated burn they could come up with. And since I was the kind of kid that built my entire personality around being smart and a good student, I couldn't agree more at the time. What could possibly be worse than being a fool? It wasn't until later on in life that I learned that trying to be the smartest person in the room at all times is exhausting. And once I came to be the minister here, I definitely had to give up on the idea of being the smartest person in the room, because we sure do have some smarties around here. Fortunately for me, IQ shouldn't be a determination of worth, and there's some real value in letting ourselves be a fool from time to time. There is a freedom, a release from pressure to say, I don't know. Because sometimes we don't know. Couldn't we just say, I don't know? This weekend, I attended the memorial service of a man who was a student of Taoism and was often the smartest man in the room. Gerardo Henderson was an accomplished physicist who wrecked the grading curves when he was a student. But when he offered up his reflections about life in his journal, which is read during the memorial, he said this: I have studied much. I understand little. I know nothing for sure. The pursuit of perfection is fundamentally flawed and can only result in failure. The journey is more important than the destination. These are the words of the wise fool. Now, the path of the wise fool is a tricky road to walk in 2025. Embracing the simple wisdom of occasional foolishness is not adopting the damaging anti-intellectual tendencies that we see in the world right now. Throwing all knowledge and science in the garbage can is a different kind of foolishness and is not the way of the wise fool. I am not advocating for an idiocracy here. Likewise, the phrase, I don't know, should be a declaration of humility and a willingness to learn, not a political mover to dodge accountability or hide the truth from people. So, with those boundaries in place, what do I mean by the wise fool? The The archetype shows up in a lot of places and times, but we find it in its most concentrated form in Taoism, the ancient Chinese philosophy that focuses on simplicity, humility, and compassion with an earthy sense of humor. Author Benjamin Hoff has made the basic principles of Taoism very accessible to the Western mind with his book, The Tao of Pooh, by making the case that the fictional character, Winnie the Pooh, is the pinnacle of Taoist simple wisdom. True straightness seems crooked. True wisdom seems foolish. True art seems artless. The Tao Te Ching is full of statements like these, contradictory paradoxes that help us give our assumptions a second look. The wisdom from the Tao suggests that the problem is not really knowledge or intelligence, but in valuing knowledge and intelligence so much that we become blind to everything else about being human. We can miss the beautiful life that is available to us only in the present moment until we let go of adding to our importance, prestige, intellectual acclaim, and learn to just be. There's something powerfully countercultural about this foolish character that does not strive to prove himself. An invitation to disconnect from what dominant culture says you should be and how you should feel. In the words of American Buddhist comedian Duncan Trussell, some poor phoneless fool is probably sitting next to a waterfall somewhere, totally unaware of how angry and scared he's supposed to be. I need to be that fool at least once a week. What would it look like to take yourself less seriously? What would it be like to stop trying to prove yourself all the time? What sort of wisdom can we find in simplicity and letting go? This is our first fool, the wise fool of Taoism. Our next fool is the archetype of the court jester. This kind of fool is famous for being able to speak truth to power precisely because of their lowly and underestimated status. Many of us have come to relish the power of satire. And there's something to be said for the power of foolishly having a good time to drown out the haters. At this year's Rainbow Festival, some Nazis showed up to harass the good people of the Tri-Cities who just wanted to wear their rainbow clothes, watch a good drag show, and love who they love. Our guest musicians knew what to do, though, and disrupted the haters by playing a polka version of Chapel Roan's queer celebration, Hot to Go.
Eins, zwei, drei. Be your new addiction. It's all in my head, but I want nonfiction. I don't want the world, but I'll take this city. Who could blame a girl? Call me hot, not pretty. Baby, do you like this beat? I made it so you dance with me. It's like 199 degrees when you're doing it with me, doing it with me. H-O-T-T-O-G-O, snap and clap and touch your toes. Raise your hands, now body roll, dance it out, you're hot to go. H-O-T-T-O-G-O, snap and clap and touch your toes. Raise your hands, now body roll, H-O-T-T-O-G-O, H-O-T-T-O-G-O. You can't take me hot to go. H-O-T-T-O-G-O. You can't take me hot to go. woke up alone staring at my ceiling. I try not to care, but it hurts my feelings. You don't have to stare, come here, get with it. No one's touched me there in a damn hot minute. Baby, do you like this beat? I made it so you sleep with me. It's like 199 degrees when you're doing it with me, doing it with me. Everybody! H-O-T-T-O-G-O, snap and clap and touch your toes, raise your hands up, body roll, dance it out, you're hot to go. H-O-T-T-O-G-O, snap and clap and touch your toes, raise your hands up, body roll, H-O-T-T-O-G-O, H-O-T-T-O-G-O, you can't take me high to go. H-O-T-T-O-G-O, you can't take me high to go. What's it take to get your number? What's it take to bring you home? Hurry up, it's time for supper. Order up, I'm hot to go. What's it take to get your number? Hurry up, it's getting cold. Hurry up, it's time for supper. Hurry up, I'm not too. H-O-T-T-O-G-O, you can't take me high to go. H-O-T-T-O-G-O, you can't take me high. Whoa! H-O-T-T-O-G-O, you can't take me high to go. H-O-T-T-O-G-O, you can't take me high to go.
My turn. I'm just, wow. That is the embodiment of chaotic good right there.
Oh my goodness. How do you follow a Chapel Rome polka? Like, sorry, I don't. Okay. We're gonna breathe. All right. Once upon a time, a king had a jester in his court. The king was so fond of him that the jester enjoyed every kind of liberty of speech. He did not even spare the lords and the ministers. So much so that he began to ridicule even the king, but no one could dare to complain against him. This made the jester bold and proud. He cared for none. One day, while the king was holding a court and was busy in serious state affairs, the jester made fun of the king. Dead silence fell on the court. The king got highly offended and sentenced the jester to death. The jester got down on his knees and begged for mercy, but the king was so angry that he refused. The jester pleaded for mercy again and again until the king said, "Die you must, but I grant you the freedom to choose the kind of death you like." The clever jester at once used his ready wit and took good advantage of the concession, saying, "Your Majesty, I choose to die of old age." The king was impressed and forgave the jester with a warning for the future.
Our image of the court jester who could just go around insulting kings with impunity was heavily influenced by the presence of fools in Shakespeare's plays. Shakespeare's fools were often jesters wearing strange patchwork clothes called motley. But even when they weren't jesters, the foolish figures in Shakespeare's plays did more than just provide comic relief. They were the voices of the common people in his audience, who could often find the angst and antics of the powerful main characters, like the kings, as absurd and ill-advised and out of touch. As a result, the fool was often the one who told the truth to the most powerful characters on the stage. Outside Outside of a few historical accounts, it's hard to tell how much power and influence jesters actually had in the various royal courts of the times. The relationship between fool and king often varied from country to country and individual to individual. But regardless of the historicity of such a role, the archetype of the court jester, present within the royal court yet set apart from it, has claimed a powerful role in our collective imaginations. The idea of being able to speak truth to power through cleverly hidden references covered up with slapstick humor is kind of appealing when free speech becomes dangerous in other contexts. In our current times, many televised comedians are parsing out how much they want to connect themselves to this archetypal role. Some are saying brave and confrontational things. Some are staying away from the serious topics, seeing them for the powder kegs that they are. And it makes me wonder, what is our responsibility to the world once we have a platform from which to be heard? In his essay, Civil Disobedience, Henry David Thoreau talks about how offering criticism and correction to the leaders of our country is actual patriotism. There's a reason why freedom of speech and freedom of the press are cornerstones to the democratic process, which is one of the principles that we have built Unitarian Universalism upon as well. But engaging in this kind of patriotism isn't without a risk. Just as today's jesters can be banned from the airways under false pretenses, the story that Aaron just read shows how clear the power imbalance is for the jester. The jester, as part of their role and archetypal power, is to stand with the oppressed. In some contexts, this was super clear and obvious who was to anyone who was part of the royal court. For example, in the German medieval court, the jester slept in the kennels with the king's dogs. Speaking truth to power does come with a cost. Even if not speaking can often be costlier. As we watch those who have a platform parse out how they will approach this big question, it's still a question for us too, with our much smaller platforms. What is our responsibility to the world once we have a platform from which to be heard? And if we want bonus points, can we do it with a little laughter, with a little humor, to help us with the absurdity of our situation? Speaking of absurdity, let's hear from the Itty Bitty Oompa Band one more time. This is No Beer on Sunday.
We were driving through a town on a Sunday afternoon. All we had left was $1.
$1!
We stopped into a bar just to have a little drink, and then we heard the bartender holler.
What'd he say?
He said, "No beer today, no beer today. You can't buy beer on Sunday. No beer today, no beer today. You gotta come around on Monday. No beer today, no beer today. You can't buy beer on Sunday. No beer today, no beer today. You gotta come around on Monday." Hop, hop. We were driving through a town on a Sunday afternoon. All we had left was $1.
$1!
We stopped into a bar just to have a little drink, and then we heard the bartender holler, "Everybody, beer today, no beer today. You can't buy beer on Sunday. No beer today, no beer today. You gotta come around on Monday. No beer today, no beer today. You can't buy beer on Sunday. No beer today, no beer today. You gotta come around on Monday.
No beer on Sunday would make my football days very sad. In the practice of reading tarot cards, the Fool is the first card in the major arcana. The World Spirit Tarot says this about the Fool. The Fool lives perfectly in the present. With no thought for the past or future, she is innocent and open to surprises. Her final destination is unknown. The Fool's message is simple. Now is the time to take a leap of faith, trusting that the universe will provide for you. This is not the time to follow anyone else's advice or to yield to society's notion of appropriate behavior. Don't be afraid to take risks, even if they seem impractical or foolish. This uncertain time may hold a mixture of fear and excitement, for the Fool promises only change, not safe arrival. However, you can count on your choices bringing you new vistas and a broader horizon. As soon as you are willing to step into the unknown, a new phase of your life will begin.
The poet William Blake says, "The fool who persists in his folly becomes wise." The fool who persists in his folly becomes wise. The Fool of the Tarot grows into wisdom through a journey of growth outlined in the story that the major arcana tells. If you were to lay all 22 cards of the major arcana out in order, you would see the story, a story of the spiritual growth of the Fool. I'm not going to take us through every card today. That would be foolish. But I will outline the main points of this journey. The Fool begins full of optimism and maybe an idea of where they want to head, but they really don't even know enough to know how big of an undertaking they're about to begin. But along the way, they meet helpful figures to teach them what they need in order to grow. The Magician, the Empress, the Lovers. They also encounter lots of obstacles and challenges. They discover their strength and their hope and their balance along the way, and the journey transforms them. At the end, after surpassing a final challenge, there's a sense of making it in the World card, the end of the tarot. But here, at the World, at the pinnacle of achieving what we've set out to achieve, here at this moment of great enlightenment, understanding, and completion of the cycle, we discover that there's still so much more to learn and come full circle back to being the Fool again, embarking on another layer of the journey of personal growth. Growth, from the eyes of the tarot's Fool, is a circle. This means that if we keep on growing, keep on staying engaged with our lives instead of just passively going through the motions, we will find ourselves becoming the Fool over and over again. And even though I know it's true, sometimes I circle right back to Fool and go, oh no, here I am. I'm the Fool again. But it's not a bad thing. It's just what it means to be human. As someone who has made spiritual growth and supporting other people in their spiritual growth my calling, I've discovered that as long as we're growing, we're winning. The only folks I ever really get worried about are the ones who think they've got it all figured out already and that think they're done growing. The major arcana gives us various additional archetypes of both the helpers and the challenges that we experience as we are growing through life. Without getting lost in the details of each card, I wonder if we can zoom out in our own lives and ask ourselves, what are the helpers and what are the challenges in our own growth journeys? The challenges aren't hard to find at all. I bet we could list them off in rapid succession. They are all around us. But so are the helpers, the people who want to support us on our journey with their wisdom. Those who support us, who see something lovable and worthy in us, who reflect back parts of ourselves that we need to learn from. Here in this spiritual community that values transformation, pluralism, interdependence, and love, we have the resources we need to grow and learn from the trials of life. I feel like all of us here have so much access to both the challenges and the helpers that our opportunities to grow are only limited by our willingness to engage with our own lives and each other. And we can take the pressure off by remembering that the growth of the fool's journey is slow. I have a good friend who every birthday will look for transformation in her life, but not short term. She'll look back and see how she was doing a year ago, and then she will look back and see how she was doing 5 years ago. And I think she and I are now reaching the age where we need to look back 10 years ago as well. This is not instant gratification growth. It's a journey. And different challenges bring different kinds of growth. When every card that comes up in the spread is the tower and the world is a dumpster fire, sometimes learning to hold on and take care of each other is the wisdom that we need, that is the growth that we need. I know that I'm learning as fast as I can, and it often doesn't feel like enough. I've learned personally and publicly from time to time that looking foolish is the price of admission for growth. The only way to get good at something is to be bad at it first. And y'all have been watching me do that for years. So in what ways are you and I and us being invited by the challenges and the guides that we encounter to grow? The wise fool teaches us that the journey of learning growth is not compatible with trying to keep up with an image of perfection. The jester teaches us that we might even need to be risky and brave to accomplish our collective goals. And the fool on the journey of the tarot's personal growth invites us to just take that next step forward. Unprecedented times call for unprecedented approaches, challenging the conventional wisdom of keeping up appearances, which means that being willing to appear foolish is going to free us to grow. Learning as we go is our only choice, as the world is moving so fast. Thank goodness we are doing it together.
As we move through life, finding ourselves always newly wise and newly foolish, we ask that our mistakes be small and not hurtful. We ask that as we gain experience, we do not forget our innocence, for they are both part of the whole. Thank you for being with us today. We'd love if you could stay for coffee hour, and I hear that there will be cake. The youth are having an arts and crafts sale to raise money for a trip right after the service, and Path to Membership is right after service too, for anybody curious about learning more about Unitarian Universalism or what it involves to become a member of our church. And it's worth it. I went through it. Our annual auction fundraiser platform is open and ready to accept your donated services for the auction. This is our biggest fundraiser of the year. It's also an incredible opportunity to bid on social experiences like home-cooked meals, game nights, boat rides, and vacation rentals, and sometimes music stuff. If you tried earlier this month and it didn't work, try again. The links are repaired. Please plan on attending our music listening circle on Sunday, October 12th after potluck. We want to hear what you like about music here, and we want to hear what you would change about music here. The listening circle format is designed intentionally to let your music and worship leaders hear valuable feedback from all attendees, so please come share your wisdom with us. We do want to know. Our church is creating a plaque to honor congregants who served in the military. If you have served and would like your name to be on the plaque, please email veterans, with an S at the end, at hvuuc.org with your name, dates of service, and military branch. As winter approaches, so does Festivals of Lights on December 14th. This is an annual intergenerational service that recognizes different holidays about light that are celebrated by people in our congregation and people who have come before us. We are looking for speakers, candle lighters, and singers. This is a wonderful chance to get involved, and there are opportunities for all ages and interests. Email Sarah at festivals@hvuuc.org to volunteer. And there's always so much more happening here than what we can say during announcements, so sign up for our e-news using the guest log at the back, or email office@hvuuc.org and ask to be added to our email list. Our closing hymn this morning is number 16, "'Tis a Gift to Be Simple." We also collect our offering during our closing hymn. If you'd like to support this community of fools, wise and otherwise, please throw a little something in the offering plate as it goes by. Please rise with us in body or spirit for hymn 16, "'Tis a Gift to Be Simple."
Generosity this week and every week. May your gifts nurture our shared ministry and this world that we've been called to love. I'm going to be standing over here on this side to encourage us to all go that way and get cake, and Justin's going to come stand with me so that if you want a chance to tell Justin what an incredible impact he has made on this church, you're welcome to do that. So we'll be over there in a minute, but I'm going to give the benediction from right here because this is where I'm at. May justice lead us to the calling of this moment. May wonder meet us right where we're at. May we discover our collaborators and our companions, and may love guide us on our journey of transformation. Blessed be, amen, and go in peace.
Yay, church!
We'll be here on Sunday.